My name is Lauren Patterson. I turned 68 last spring. I thought my life would finally become quiet, peaceful, a garden to tend, books to read, memories to keep me company. But instead, I find myself lying awake every night, replaying a moment I wish had never happened. A moment that started like any other day. It was a Saturday afternoon. The sun was bright, warm. I was making tea in my small kitchen and humming a song my mother used to sing. I was alone, but I never minded silence. It is gentle, predictable, safe. Then my doorbell rang. That sound changed my life. I wiped my hands and walked to the front door. I opened it with a smile, expecting a delivery or a neighbor. But when I saw Megan, my smile fell. Her red backpack hung off one shoulder. Her shoes were muddy, and her cheeks, wet from crying. "Megan, sweetheart, what happened?" I whispered. She ran into my arms, holding me so tightly I stumbled a little. She was shaking. Her breath came fast and uneven. I guided her inside, locked the door behind us, and knelt down to her level. I brushed her hair away from her face. Her eyes avoided mine. She was terrified. "What is it, honey? You can tell Grandma." Her voice trembled. "Grandma, I'm scared of him." "Who?" I asked gently. She looked up, and the name came out like a secret someone might punish her for sharing. "Marcus. Her stepfather. Kayla married him almost a year ago. A charming man, everyone said. Wears a nice smile. Good job. Always helpful. The kind who brings flowers to family dinners. The kind you trust without thinking twice." I did, for a while. But kindness can be a mask. I held Megan close, feeling her small heart pounding against my chest. "What happened?" She sniffled. "I can't tell you. Not yet." Her voice was full of fear. Real fear. Not the kind children fake to avoid chores or broccoli. This fear came from deep inside. "Sweetheart, did he hurt you?" Her head shook quickly. Not like that." She hesitated. "But he's bad, Grandma. He does things when Mom's not home." Her voice broke. I swallowed hard, my own heart rising into my throat. I wanted to wrap every comforting word around her like a blanket, but something inside me warned. "Listen first." I stood up slowly. "Come sit. We'll talk. You're safe here." But Megan shook her head. She reached into her backpack, hands trembling. She pulled out a small purple voice recorder, the kind kids use for school projects. Then she placed it on my dining table like it was something dangerous. My stomach tightened. "What's that for?" Her lips pressed together. "Just, please listen, but don't let Mom or Marcus know. Promise me." I nodded. I promised. I pressed the play button. At first, I heard nothing but a faint rustling, a chair scraping, then a soft click, like a door closing. A moment of silence followed. Then a man's voice. "Marcus." Low, cold, measured. "Do you know what happens to little girls who don't listen?" he said. His tone wasn't loud. That made it worse. Anger can be understood, controlled, but calm threats, those are the ones that hide knives behind smiles. Megan's breathing became shaky as the recording continued. Marcus laughed quietly on the recording. A slow laugh, a chilling one. "Megan, if you ever tell your mother about our secrets." A pause, a long one that made the silence too heavy to breathe through. "No one will believe you." Megan whimpered on the recording. "Please let me go. Please." "Oh, I will," he replied. "But first, you have to be a good girl. You want your mother to be happy, don't you?" I stopped the recording. My hand was frozen on the table, cold, pale. I forced myself to breathe. "Sweetheart, when did he say that to you?" "A few nights ago," she whispered. "Mom wasn't home. He locked the door. He told me if I told anybody, he'd make Mom leave me forever." Her words stabbed at my heart. I hugged her again. This time, I held on because I needed the comfort just as much as she did. Then came the fear, a different kind. Kayla, my daughter, she didn't know. She was trusting the wrong man with the most precious thing she had. "Why didn't you tell your mother?" I asked gently. "I tried." Megan's voice cracked, but she yelled at me. She thought I was being rude to Marcus. She said I have to accept him as my dad. Her pain turned into quiet anger. Her tiny hands curled into fists. "She doesn't listen to me anymore." The room felt smaller. The walls seemed closer, the air heavier. I wanted to call Kayla immediately, confront Marcus, scream at him. But Megan's fear held me back. Rushing could make things worse. "He records me too," Megan whispered. I stared at her. "What do you mean?" "He has cameras. In my room. In the living room. He says it's for security. My stomach twisted. Security. That was the same word he used when he drilled a lock into Megan's bedroom door for her safety. I should have questioned things sooner. I took a deep breath and poured her some warm milk. She held the cup with shaking hands but managed a small sip. You're safe here, I assured her. He can't hurt you here. She didn't look convinced. Grandma, he watches me, all the time. Her eyes darted around the room. Even now, maybe he put something in your house too. I looked around slowly, at the corners, the shelves, the lights. Suspicion crept into every shadow. I'll check, I promised. But first, we decide what to do next. Together. Megan nodded, wiping her tears. She looked so small on my sofa, too small to carry such fear. My heart broke. I had to protect her, even if it meant going against my own daughter. The phone rang. Both of us jumped. I walked to the counter and checked the caller ID. Kayla, I answered, trying to sound calm. Hello, sweetheart. Mom, is Megan with you? Her voice was tense, worried. Yes. She came here. She's okay. She left without telling Marcus. Kayla snapped. He's furious. Why didn't you call me? My instinct told me the wrong sentence could shatter everything. She needed to calm down, I said softly. She was upset. Upset? Kayla scoffed. Because she refuses to accept the fact that Marcus is trying to be a good father? She keeps making up stories. I can't deal with this behavior anymore. My grip tightened on the phone. Stories. If only they were stories. Please don't be angry with her, I said carefully. She's just scared. Scared of what? Of being loved? Kayla snapped, her voice lowered. Mom, I need you to bring her back. Marcus is worried sick. Those words chilled me. Worried sick. Or trying to maintain his control? I looked at Megan. Her eyes widened with panic. She shook her head violently. No, she mouthed. Please. My heart made the choice before my mind caught up. She's staying with me tonight, I said. Silence on the line. Kayla's voice returned, sharper. Mom, don't do this. You're making it worse. I'll explain later. You better, she warned. Because Marcus thinks you're turning her against him. He doesn't need my help for that, I answered quietly. I regretted those words instantly. Kayla's breath hitched. What is that supposed to mean? I'm just saying she needs space enough, she interrupted. We'll talk in the morning. A heavy sigh. Please, don't fill her head with nonsense. The call ended. The silence afterward felt tense, like the quiet before an approaching storm. Megan watched me with wide eyes. Is Mom mad? No, I lied, stroking her hair. She's just confused. She loves you. Megan stared at the floor. Not the same way she loves him. I couldn't deny it. Something changed in Kayla after Marcus came into their lives. She stopped calling as often. She pushed me away whenever I questioned him. She defended him even when Megan cried. Love should not blind someone to their own child's fear. I took a slow breath. Let's get you settled, I said. I set up the guest room for her. Fresh sheets, soft pillows. I plugged in her favorite night light, a little pink star that glowed gently in the dark. Thank you, Grandma, she whispered, climbing under the blanket, for believing me. My chest tightened with emotion. I kissed her forehead. Always. I turned off the main light, leaving only the pink star glowing. Her eyes slowly closed, but her eyebrows remained tense, as if nightmares stood waiting behind her eyelids. I stepped out and closed the door. The house was quiet again, but not peaceful. I walked to the dining table and picked up the recorder. My hand shook a little. I pressed play again, forcing myself to listen. Marcus's voice returned, cold, controlling. You know what makes people disappear, Megan? Disobedience. My breath caught. The sound of metal scraping, a lock turning, then Megan's small voice. Please, stop. The recording ended abruptly. I set the device down, my fingers trembling. This was only a glimpse, a grain of truth, but that grain carried enough darkness to fill an entire ocean. I knew then, I couldn't sleep tonight. I checked every corner of my house like Megan asked. Under shelves, behind books, near vents, in lamp bases. The paranoia felt like smoke filling my lungs, impossible to ignore. I didn't find any cameras, but I didn't feel relieved. Some dangers don't hide in objects, they hide in people. I returned to the living room and sat on the sofa, staring at the door, listening, thinking. I had to protect Megan, even if Kayla didn't understand, even if Marcus tried to fight me. even if it cost me everything. I thought about calling the police, but what could I prove? A recording without context? A scared child's words? Against a man who wears charm like polished armor. The world protects clean reputations, not trembling whispers. So instead, I waited, and in the quiet, my phone buzzed again. A text message, one line, from an unknown number. Keep her away from me again, and you'll regret it. No name, no details, just silent promise. My hand tightened around the phone. Marcus. He already knew where she was, and he was watching. I stared at that message on my phone for a long time. The screen light glowed against the darkness of my living room, making my hands look older, more fragile than I remembered. Keep her away from me again, and you'll regret it. My first instinct was fear. My second was anger. My third was a quiet determination. I deleted the message. Then I turned my phone off completely. No digital trail, no instant reaction, just time to think. I walked back toward the hallway and peeked into the guest room. Megan was finally asleep, her breathing soft, her small hand tucked under her cheek. Children are so trusting when the nightmare pauses. But for me, the night had only begun. I sat at the kitchen table again, staring at the voice recorder. That tiny object now felt heavier than my entire house. I replayed Marcus's laugh in my head, that slow, controlled sound that pretends to care, but cuts like a knife. My mind raced backward, searching for missed warning signs. His polite smile, his perfect manners, his eagerness to take control of every situation. I should have seen it sooner, but evil rarely announces itself. It blends, until you question your own eyes. The next morning came quietly, too quietly. The sunlight filtered in gently, but I felt no warmth from it. I made breakfast pancakes, the way Megan liked them. When she woke up, she slipped into the kitchen, still hugging her stuffed bear. She didn't smile. Megan, how did you sleep? I asked softly. She shrugged. I had a dream. She paused. He was in it. I cupped her cheek. Dreams can't hurt you here. She nodded, unsure, but tried to believe me. We ate in silence, her little fork scraping softly against the plate. I watched her closely, noticing the way she flinched at small sounds. Fear lingers longer than bruises. As I cleaned up, she placed the recorder on the table again. There's more, she whispered. My heart sank. Honey, you don't have to listen if you're not ready. I want you to know everything, she said, bravery shaking her voice. So you can protect me. She pressed play. This time, there was soft crying Megan's, and footsteps pacing. Marcus's voice came again, closer. No one will save you, Megan. Not even her. Her whimpers grew louder. A creak, maybe a bed frame. Something scraping along the floor. You think you're so smart, he said, but I know every little move you make. Then, his tone shifted playful, cold. And if you try to run away again, I'll make sure your mother forgets you ever existed. Megan hit stop. Her breathing was fast, her eyes unfocused, drifting somewhere dark. I knelt beside her chair and held both her hands. Thank you for trusting me. You did the right thing. But inside, a storm raged. The law is supposed to protect children, but I knew too many stories where it failed because the adults wore masks too well. We needed proof. We needed help. We needed to be smart. By late morning, my doorbell rang again. My chest tightened. I walked to the door and looked through the peephole. Kayla. She looked tired, stressed, and angry. I opened the door just enough to greet her. Good morning. She didn't smile back. Is she here? I nodded once. Kayla brushed past me, calling out, Megan. Megan's footsteps were hesitant as she walked into the living room. Kayla knelt down, trying to smile. Sweetie, why did you leave? You scared us. Megan stared at the floor. I needed Grandma. Sweetie, Kayla said, voice turning firm. We talked about this. Running away is not okay. Marcus was very upset. I stepped in. Kayla. She isn't running away. She's asking for help. Kayla stood up. Her eyes sharpened. What are you trying to suggest? I spoke gently. She told me things Marcus has been saying to her. Things that scared me. Kayla scoffed. Mom, Marcus has been trying so hard. Megan just hates that I remarried. That's not it, I insisted. She's genuinely frightened. No, Kayla cut me off. He's trying his best. And you're feeding her fears. Megan clutched her bear tighter. Her eyes filled with tears. I lowered my voice. Kayla, please listen to her. Just this once. Kayla shook her head. I listen. But you're the one who never does. You always think you know best. This isn't about me, I said softly. It's about Megan. No, she said. You're blowing everything up because you don't like Marcus. I stared at her. Hurt, shock, sadness. Kayla, look at your daughter's face. She's terrified. Kayla truly looked, and for a brief second, uncertainty flickered in her eyes. But denial is stronger than fear when love is misguided. We're going home, she said. Megan stepped back. No, please. I don't want to go. Kayla softened her tone but kept her grip strong. You're my child. You belong with me. Megan's voice cracked. Mom, please listen to me. Kayla ignored the trembling plea and pulled her toward the door. I followed, my heart pounding. Kayla, wait, she stopped at the doorway, turning to me with cold finality. Mom, don't call, don't interfere. This is my family. She walked out, Megan's frightened eyes meeting mine until the last second, begging me to save her. But the door closed, sharp, loud, final. The silence afterward was unbearable. I didn't sit, I didn't cry, I acted. Something inside me, some primal fire ignited. I grabbed my keys, my purse, the recorder, and I left. The drive to Kayla's house felt endless. Leaves blew across the road. The sky darkened early. A storm was coming. The house looked normal from the outside. Beige siding, fresh flowers by the door, wind chimes gently ringing. Evil can live in pretty houses too. I didn't knock. I watched. I walked along the side of the house, checking windows like Megan described. I noticed something near a vent, small, black, round. A recording device? A tiny camera? I took pictures. Every angle, every detail. Proof. I moved to Megan's bedroom window. The curtains were drawn, but I heard something inside. A soft cry. My heart clenched. Then footsteps. Heavy, purposeful. I ducked back behind the bushes, holding my breath. The window opened slightly. Marcus's voice floated out. Stop crying. It's just us now. There was a pause. Then his voice lowered even more. If you behave, I won't have to make you disappear. I froze. Disappear. I fumbled for my phone to record audio. My hands shook. I pressed the button. More footsteps. Then laughter, but not joyful. Calculated? You should be grateful, Marcus continued. Some kids don't get second chances. I wanted to storm inside, tear through the house, drag Megan out and never look back. But my fear stopped me. Not for myself, but for her. If he saw me, he might hurt her later to punish us both. I stepped back, careful not to snap a twig. I walked to my car, heart racing so fast I felt faint. I got in, closed the door quietly. My fingers steadied just enough to save the audio. Evidence grows slowly, but so does truth. I returned home alone, the silence suffocating. The house felt too big, too empty. I placed the recorder and my phone on the table. Then I called someone I hadn't spoken to in a long time. Michael? I said when he answered, my voice shaky. A pause. Lauren? His voice softened with concern. It's been years. What's wrong? I need your help, I whispered. It's about Megan. Michael was my late husband's brother, a retired police officer. We drifted apart after my husband died, not out of anger, just life pulling us in different directions. But he was the only person I trusted right now. He didn't hesitate. I'll be there in 20 minutes. And he was. When he arrived, I showed him everything, the recordings, the pictures, the text message. He listened silently, jaw tightening. This isn't just emotional abuse, he said. This is a predator, and a dangerous one. He set his hand on mine. We need more evidence. Enough that no one can twist the truth. His confidence steadied me, just enough to breathe again. He wrote a few notes, asked careful questions. Then he stood up. We'll catch him. We, not you. Not I, we. I needed that more than I realized. That night, I barely slept. I would close my eyes only to see Megan's terrified face staring back at me. At dawn, my phone buzzed. Unknown number again. My throat tightened as I opened the message. You think you're helping, but she'll suffer for every step you take. I didn't shake this time. I didn't panic. I stared at the message and I felt something I hadn't felt in years. Strength. Evil wants silence. I would not give it silence. Around noon, my phone rang again, this time Kayla. I answered quickly. Kayla? Is Megan? She's at school, she said coldly. Marcus wants to talk tonight. You should be here. A meeting. My heart raced. Was it a trap? A confrontation? A chance to expose him? I'll come, I said. Kayla hung up. Michael insisted on joining me, quietly waiting nearby just in case. I agreed. I wasn't stepping into a predator's den alone. Evening came heavy with clouds. Thunder rolled somewhere distant. The air smelled like rain and danger. I drove to their house, my pulse pounding in my ears, my palms sweating, my mind running through the plan again. Be calm, be controlled, let him talk, record everything. When I rang the bell, Marcus opened the door. His smile was a mask, perfectly placed. "Lauren," he said warmly, too warmly, "come in. We were just waiting for you." His eyes, in that moment, sent goosebumps up my arms. Eyes can fake smiles. They cannot fake truth. Kayla was sitting on the couch, arms crossed. Megan was nowhere in sight. Marcus gestured to the seat across from him. "Let's talk like adults," he said. His words sounded polite. His tone sounded like a threat. I sat down slowly. Marcus leaned forward. "You seem to think I'm the bad guy," he said, smile sharpening. "But I'm the one trying to make this family work." I said nothing. Silence is sometimes the loudest voice. He chuckled. "Lauren, children lie." His teeth tightened behind the smile. "You should know that by now." I kept my voice steady. "Megan's scared of you." Marcus's eyes narrowed only for a second. "Children are scared of many things. The dark, monsters." He paused. "Change. She has recordings," I whispered. Kayla's head snapped toward me. "Recordings?" Marcus's expression turned cold. Very cold. I had cracked the mask. "You're a clever woman," he murmured. The threat was unmistakable now. "But clever women sometimes disappear." Kayla gasped. "Marcus, what are you talking about?" Marcus ignored her. He stood up slowly, too slowly, and locked the front door. A soft click, a terrifying sound. Then he turned back to me. "Let's stop pretending," he said. "She's mine now." I swallowed hard, my heart thundering. Kayla stood trembling. "Marcus, what are you?" he snapped, his voice booming with authority I had never heard before. "Sit down." Kayla froze. I saw fear in her eyes for the first time. He turned back to me. "You're interfering with my family. That ends tonight." He stepped closer, one slow step at a time. I reached into my purse, pretending to adjust it, and pressed the record button on my phone. Marcus leaned in. "I know exactly how to make someone vanish," he whispered. "And no one will ever find." The sound of a door swinging open cut him off. Megan. She stood there at the hallway entrance, eyes wide with terror, her little hands clutching something behind her back. Marcus turned toward her, anger twisting his face. "Megan," he growled, "go to your room." She didn't move. He took a step toward her. She stepped back and lifted what she was holding, a kitchen knife. Kayla gasped. "Megan." Marcus laughed low and threatening. "Put that down. You stupid, don't touch her." Megan screamed. Her voice shook the walls. Everything froze. Thunder crashed outside. Rain hammered against the roof. Time paused. Marcus stared at Megan, then slowly turned back toward me. His smile returned. "You see what you've done," he said softly. "You turned her against me." His voice dropped to a whisper. "And now I'll fix it." He lunged. For Megan, for power, for control. I moved without thinking, without fear, without hesitation. I stepped between them, and the world erupted into chaos. I did not think. Instinct took over. As Marcus lunged forward, I threw my arm out and pushed Megan behind me. The kitchen knife clattered to the floor. Marcus's shoulder slammed into my chest, sending me off balance. I stumbled but didn't fall. He grabbed my wrist tight, crushing, a grip born from rage. His other hand reached toward Megan again. "Stop," I shouted, but he didn't stop. He didn't even hesitate. Kayla screamed, rushing toward us, but he shoved her back with one hand. She fell hard against the coffee table, a cry of pain echoing through the room. For a moment, everything slowed. Marcus's grip, Megan's terror, Kayla's shock, my racing heart. I forced my voice to stay steady. "Marcus, let her go." His face twisted, the mask completely gone now. "You ruined everything," he snarled. She was learning her place, learning her place. Like she was a possession, a pet, something to break. My voice trembled with fury and fear. "She's a child, she's a problem," he corrected coldly. "And problems get dealt with." His other hand reached for Megan again. Something inside me, something stronger than fear, ignited. I twisted my arm, yanked free from his grip, and shoved him backward with every ounce of strength in my body. "Run," I yelled to Megan. She didn't hesitate. She darted toward the hallway. Marcus slipped a little on the rug, shock flashing through his eyes. He regained his footing and sprinted after her. I grabbed his shirt, pulling him back. He turned and slapped me sharp, violent. The room spun. My cheek burned. Kayla scrambled up, her eyes wide with disbelief and horror. Marcus, stop, she pleaded, but he wasn't listening. Not to her, not to reason, not to anything except control. He moved toward the hallway again. I grabbed hold of him once more, desperate. He shoved me so hard my back slammed into the wall. Pain shot up my spine. Stay out of this, he hissed. Kayla stood frozen, torn between denial and the truth unfolding right in front of her. The thunder outside roared like a warning. I forced myself to stand. If you hurt her, you'll regret it. I recorded everything tonight. That made him pause just for a second. His head turned slowly toward me. His eyes narrowed. You're lying. I shook my head. No, my phone is recording right now, and I prayed Megan had grabbed it when I dropped my purse. The air between us tightened, a wire drawn to thin. Marcus's rage simmered into something far worse. Calculation. He straightened his posture, forcing a calm, controlled expression back onto his face. His smile returned sickeningly gentle. Kayla, he said, turning to her like nothing happened, your mother is confused. She's trying to turn Megan against us. Kayla's lips trembled as she looked between us. Marcus, I heard you. His smile cracked. You heard what she wants you to think. He reached for her hand, but she jerked away. Tears filled her eyes. Why did you lock the door? She demanded. His eyelid twitched, a flash of panic. She's lying, he repeated. Megan lies. Kids lie. Your mother lies. Kayla shook her head. Not like that. The truth was cracking through denial like sunlight breaking through storm clouds. Megan appeared again, breathless, from the hallway. She held something small in her shaking hand. She lifted it. My phone. The recording still running. Marcus's face changed instantly. He rushed forward. Before I could react, a loud bang shook the house. Not thunder. The front door. It flew open. Michael. His voice boomed with authority I had only seen once before, the day he buried his brother. Step away from them. Now. Marcus froze mid-step. His muscles stiffened, eyes darting between Michael and Megan. Michael stepped fully inside, gun drawn, steady, controlled. I said step away. Marcus slowly moved back, hands up, but his eyes glared with hatred. This is my house. You can't shut up, Michael said calmly. You're under investigation, and I heard enough to put you exactly where you belong. Kayla collapsed onto the couch, crying quietly into her hands. Megan dropped my phone and ran into my arms, her heart beat wild against my chest. It's okay, I whispered into her hair. You're safe now. But even as I said it, I knew safety wasn't a moment. It had to be fought for. Michael cuffed Marcus's hands behind his back, reading him his rights with a steady voice. Marcus didn't resist, but he didn't look defeated. No, he looked calculating. As Michael led him out into the storm, Marcus turned his head and stared at me. His lips curved into a slow, sinister smile. This isn't over, he whispered. The rain hit his face as he was pushed into the back of the car. The door slammed shut. The sound should have felt final. It didn't. The house felt different with Marcus gone. The air wasn't heavy anymore, but the shadows still clung to corners like bad memories refusing to fade. Kayla sat beside me on the couch, her shoulders shaking. I placed a blanket around her. She stared into nothing. I trusted him, she whispered. I chose him over my daughter. You didn't know, I said softly. Tears streamed down her face. I didn't want to know. Denial is a powerful prison. She turned to Megan, reaching out with trembling hands. Megan, I'm so sorry, she whispered, voice breaking. I should have listened. I should have seen it. Megan crawled into her lap slowly, like someone unsure if love might disappear again. Kayla held her tightly, sobbing into her hair. I love you, she cried, more than anything. I won't let anyone hurt you ever again. For the first time in a long time, Megan allowed herself to trust in those words. I watched them, relief mixing with sorrow. Healing starts with truth, but pain always walks beside it. Michael sat across from us, setting his gun aside. We'll need to file an official report, he said softly, and Child Protective Services will be involved. But I'll make sure she stays with you, Lauren, until everything settles. Kayla wiped her eyes, nodding. Whatever it takes. Megan still clung to her. I touched her shoulder. You're safe here, sweetheart. She looked up at me, her eyes tired, but no longer silent. Grandma, she whispered. He said he'd come back. My stomach tightened. Michael leaned forward. He won't get near you. Not again. I wished I could believe that completely, but Marcus's smile before leaving. Predators don't surrender. They wait. That night, Megan slept between Kayla and me in my bed, her tiny hand wrapped tightly around mine, as if letting go might bring the nightmare back. The storm outside finally quieted, but the storm inside me did not. I lay awake for hours, replaying every sound, every moment, every mistake. We were safe for now, but safety is a fragile thing. A whisper woke me. At first, I thought it was the wind, a soft tap against the house. Then again louder, tap, tap. Megan stirred beside me, her brow furrowed. Tap. I slid out carefully, not waking her or Kayla. I walked to the living room, heart in my throat. Everything was dark except for the faint glow of a street lamp through the window. Tap. The sound came from the front porch. I slowly pulled aside the curtain and felt my blood run cold. A small teddy bear sat on the welcome mat. Megan's teddy bear. The tag around its neck had one word written in black marker. Mine. I backed away slowly, chest tight, tears stinging my eyes. He was out there, watching, waiting. One prison cell wasn't enough to keep him away. He wasn't done, not even close. The teddy bear sat on my porch quiet, innocent, and horrifying. Rain dripped from its small ears. The ink on the tag smudged slightly, but the word remained clear, mine. I stood frozen, my breath shallow. My mind refused to accept what my eyes saw. Marcus couldn't be out. He shouldn't be anywhere near here. The law doesn't work fast enough against monsters who wear polite smiles. I grabbed the bear with trembling hands and brought it inside. I locked the door deadbolt, chain, every latch I had. In my own home, fear suddenly felt like a guest that refused to leave. I didn't wake Kayla or Megan. I couldn't bear to. I sat at the kitchen table alone, the bear on the wood before me like a warning. A message, a promise, a claim. I waited through the night with every light on, staring at shadows that seemed to move if I blinked too long. Morning came, and with it the sound of birds gentle but mocking. As if the world forgot a predator was lurking. Megan groggily came into the kitchen and curled into my lap. Kayla followed, her hair messy, her face pale from a restless sleep. I didn't tell them about the bear, not yet. I needed answers first. After breakfast, Michael arrived in his unmarked car. He hugged Megan, reassuring her with a small smile. But his eyes grew sharp when he saw the bear. He was here, he said quietly. I nodded. And he wants us to know he's watching. Michael clenched his jaw. Marcus escaped county lockup about 2 hours ago. My stomach dropped. Kayla gasped, clutching Megan close. How? I breathed. He's not the man we thought he was, Michael replied. We ran his name through a deeper federal database. It's not even Marcus Hall. Real name is Mark Hanley. And he's been on the radar before. For what? I whispered, though I already feared the answer. Michael hesitated. Children, he said at last. He has a history of manipulating single mothers, gaining trust, then isolating the child. Kayla's face crumpled with horror. I let him into our lives, she whispered. I let him near my baby. Megan buried her face into her mother's chest, trembling. Michael set his hand comfortingly on Kayla's shoulder. You're not to blame. People like him know how to hide, how to pretend. Evil rarely looks like a monster at first glance. Police patrols began driving past my home every hour. Locks were reinforced. Curtains remained drawn. Nightmares thrived in daylight now. Megan flinched at every sound. Kayla cried when she thought no one saw. I stayed awake to keep watch because fear had replaced sleep entirely. On the third night, Megan came into my room, her small hand tapping my shoulder. Grandma? She whispered. I sat up quickly. What's wrong? She climbed into bed beside me, shaking. I heard him, she said. He was outside my window. Ice tightened around my spine. What did you hear? Her voice was barely audible. He said, good girls don't keep secrets. I hugged her tight, heart pounding. Did he slip by patrols? Was he hiding in the dark corners of our neighborhood? Or was fear twisting her senses? Children sense danger long before adults do. I trusted her instincts more than my own. I called Michael immediately. He arrived faster than the patrol car. He checked every inch outside, flashlight cutting through the quiet. No Marcus, no footprints, no trace. But the absence of evidence didn't mean safety. The next morning, Michael sat us down at the kitchen table. We're moving you to a safer location, he said. A protected, safe house. Kayla nodded instantly, but a cold dread gripped me. I'm not leaving my home, I protested. Michael met my eyes. Lauren, this isn't just about your home. It's about Megan's life. Megan squeezed my hand. Grandma, please. I don't want him to find us. Every ounce of me wanted to stay, to defend my home, to not let fear win. But bravery that endangers a child isn't bravery. I exhaled shakily. Okay, we'll go. The safe house was a small two-bedroom outside town. Plain furniture, neutral colors, secure locks, a panic button in every room. It felt like a hospital for fear, designed not to be lived in, but survived in. For the first time in days, Megan played quietly with a jigsaw puzzle. Kayla watched her like she was afraid Megan might disappear if she blinked. I unpacked a few things, trying to bring warmth to a place built without it. A blanket here, a picture frame there, but no decoration could erase the feeling. We were hiding, and he was hunting. One evening, Michael returned with a worn cardboard box. He set it on the dining table. This belonged to another family, he explained. A past case involving Mark Hanley. My breath caught. Megan went to her room before he opened it. She didn't need to relive someone else's nightmare too. Michael pulled out documents, photos, a small toy car, someone else's memories damaged by the same man. He took a liking to a boy named Jacob, Michael said. 6 years old, sweet, quiet. Kayla's face paled. What happened to him? He disappeared. Silence swallowed the room. His mother claimed Hanley manipulated them both. The boy tried to run multiple times. Then one day, he was gone. A cold whisper of the past reached into our present. And the mother? I asked, voice shaking. Michael looked down. She never recovered. She took her own life 6 months later. Kayla covered her mouth. Tears cascaded. What about Marcus? I forced myself to ask. He vanished. Started over. New name, new target. A predator evolving in the shadows. He likes to record everything, Michael added. He uses cameras, not to protect, but to watch, to study. My memory jolted. Megan's voice echoing. He has cameras everywhere. Michael continued. We found footage in that case. He stalks before he strikes. He leaves warnings. He takes something personal from the child. He looked at me, like a toy. The teddy bear, the word mine. I gripped the edge of the table. He's escalating, Michael warned. The moment he loses control, he becomes desperate. Desperate people don't give up. They get dangerous. We were silent for a long time after Michael left. Rain tapped the windows again, softer this time, but every drop felt like a countdown. Kayla sat on the couch, staring at the door, her mind replaying horrors, her heart trying to cope with guilt. She trusted me, she whispered, almost to herself, and I almost gave her to a monster. I sat beside her, wrapping my hand around hers. Love is blind when you want happiness so badly, I said gently. He exploited that. Kayla looked at me, tears shining. How do you stay so calm? I smiled sadly. I'm not calm, I'm terrified. But fear means nothing when a child needs you to be strong. She rested her head on my shoulder, like she did when she was little. I need to be a better mother, she whispered. You already are, I said softly. You listened, you acted, you're here. She closed her eyes, holding my words like a lifeline. Later that night, exhaustion finally pulled me into sleep, but peace didn't follow. I dreamed of Megan calling for help. I dreamed of Marcus's eyes watching from darkness. I dreamed of a child's voice, a boy's whispering. He doesn't stop. I woke with a gasp, sweat cold on my skin. The room was silent, too silent. I checked the clock. 3:07 a.m. A chill crept through me, the kind that comes when the world pauses waiting. Then I heard it, a soft creak, floorboards shifting weight. Inside the house, I froze, listening hard. Another soft step, slow, heavy, moving through the hall. The safe house suddenly felt like a trap, walls to thin, corners to dark. My heart hammered as I slipped out of bed. I grabbed my phone and turned on the camera, no flash. I crept to the door, cracking it open just enough to see the hallway. No one, but the sound continued behind me now. I turned. Kayla's door opened slowly. She peered out, eyes wide with fear. You heard it? She whispered. I nodded. She looked toward Megan's room. Terror spread through her face. Megan, she breathed. We rushed to her door, but it was already open. The bed was empty. The window was unlocked, curtains fluttering in a gust of cold wind. A small piece of paper was taped to the glass. One word, mine. Kayla screamed Megan's name. her voice cracking with pure panic. I stumbled back, vision blurring, dread sinking like a stone in my chest. He found us. He was here. He took her. Before safety could build a wall, fear tore it down. Michael's words echoed in my mind. The moment he loses control, he becomes desperate. Desperation drove him tonight, which meant we were already running out of time. I dialed Michael immediately, barely able to speak through tears. He answered on the first ring. He took Megan. I choked out. He was here. He took her. I'm on my way, he said, voice turning sharp as steel. Do not leave the house. But I was already grabbing my keys. I pressed the phone to my ear. Lauren. Michael barked. You need to wait for us. No, I whispered, shaking with fear and fury. He has my granddaughter. I ended the call. Kayla was right behind me, wild-eyed, heartbroken, and together we ran into the storm-dark night. We didn't know which direction to go. We didn't know what danger waited ahead. We only knew one thing. We would bring her home, or die trying. We ran into the storm with nothing but a directionless fear guiding us. Wind pushed against us like an invisible wall. The night swallowed the road ahead. Megan. Kayla screamed into the darkness. Her voice tore through the rain. No answer. I forced myself to breathe. Fear clouded the mind. I needed clarity. Marcus wasn't random. He planned. He controlled. So where would he take her? A memory surfaced. The house. Kayla's old home. His tools. The cameras. The locked doors. A place he claimed as his territory. I grabbed Kayla's arm. He took her back there. Her eyes widened, horrified but determined. She nodded. Let's go. We jumped into the car. I turned the ignition with trembling hands. Headlights sliced through the rain-smeared road. Hold on, I whispered, mostly to myself. The drive felt endless. Every second was a threat. The storm battered the windshield like the sky itself was in panic. As we neared the house, I killed the headlights and coasted quietly to the curb. The street was empty. No police yet. Michael must still be minutes away. Too long. Far too long. Kayla reached for the door. We can't wait. I stopped her hand, meeting her eyes. We go together. Slowly. Quietly. My voice somehow stronger than my shaking bones. We stepped out. The rain instantly drenched us, but adrenaline kept us moving. We approached the house like shadows clinging to each other. A faint sound drifted from inside. A child's cry. Megan. It sliced through me, sharp, cold, unbearable. I tried the front door locked. We hurried around back. The sliding glass door, slightly open. My heart dropped. He wanted us to come in. Kayla whispered, trembling. What if it's a trap? It is, I said softly, but we have no choice. We slipped inside. The house felt wrong still, yet vibrating with menace. The air carried a metallic scent. Fear, sweat, rain, something darker. From down the hallway, a voice echoed. Marcus. Shh, sweetheart. They'll ruin everything if they find you. I felt Kayla tense beside me, her hand over her mouth to keep from sobbing. We moved step by cautious step, each creak of the floor loud as thunder. Inside Megan's room, the nightlight flickered her pink stars, casting broken shadows on the walls. Marcus crouched beside the bed, hand gripping her wrist tightly. She was crying, silently, like she was afraid even her tears had sound. I stepped into the doorway. Let her go. Marcus's head snapped up. A slow smile stretched across his face, wide, dreadful. Well, he breathed. I was wondering when you'd arrive. Kayla rushed past me, falling to her knees beside Megan. She tried to pull her daughter close, but Marcus didn't let go. She's not yours, he hissed. She never was. I stepped fully into the room. You're wrong. He stood, dragging Megan up with him, using her as a shield. One hand clamped over her small shoulder. She whimpered. Grandma. That sound ignited something inside me, an ancient, fierce truth. I would burn the world down before letting him harm her again. Let her go, I repeated. My voice wasn't loud. It was steady. Marcus scoffed. You think you can take her? You think she'll be safe with you? The weak? The old? You have no idea what she needs. I know she needs to be free of you. Lightning flashed, illuminating his face. The mask was gone. The human gone. Only hunger remained. She is mine, he repeated, breath shaking with madness. You don't get to take away what I earned. I stepped closer. Kayla too. Marcus. Kayla whispered, voice breaking. You never loved us. His jaw clenched. Rage warred with denial in his eyes. You don't know what love is. He spat. Love is obedience. Love is loyalty. No, I said softly. Love is protection. A snap of thunder jolted the house. Marcus jerked backward, dragging Megan toward the window. If I can't have her, he hissed, no one will. Panic surged inside me like fire. Then Lauren. Michael's voice roared from the hallway. Marcus stiffened, his grip tightening on Megan. Michael stepped into view, gun raised. Let the girl go, he ordered. For a heartbeat, everything froze. Marcus's eyes darted window, door, gun us. Calculation overtook desperation. He pushed Megan away, not in surrender, in reaction. Then he lunged straight at Michael. The gun fired. A flash of light, a deafening crack, a scream. Kayla's. Marcus collapsed, hitting the floor hard. His breath came in ragged bursts, disbelief twisting his features. Michael kept the gun trained on him, breathing heavy but steady. Megan ran into my arms, sobbing uncontrollably. Kayla knelt beside us, hugging us both tightly. Her tears soaked into Megan's hair. Safe. She was safe. Police sirens grew louder outside. Backup stormed the house. Paramedics rushed in. Marcus was handcuffed, bleeding but alive. His eyes burned with hatred as he was carried out on a stretcher. Even through the chaos, his gaze never left Megan. Mine. He mouthed silently. Michael stepped into his line of sight, blocking him, ending that last connection. The doors slammed shut. He was gone. This time, from our lives forever. The next days blurred together. Interviews, therapists, investigators. Megan clung to me, often not talking much. Her nightmares were loud, her days quiet. Kayla stayed close to arms, always ready, eyes always apologizing. One afternoon, Megan sat beside me on the porch swing. The sun warmed our skin, a reminder that light still existed. She leaned her head on my shoulder. Grandma? She said softly. Yes, sweetheart. Am I safe now? I kissed her forehead gently. With us, I whispered. You always will be. She smiled, small but real. Healing looks like tiny steps forward. Then she reached into her pocket and pulled out a little plastic recorder, the purple one. She held it out. I don't need this anymore, she said. I nodded, tears silently slipping down my cheek. Our voices are enough now, I told her. And they were. Kayla joined us on the swing, draping her arm around us both. For a moment, the three of us just breathed in peace, letting the past loosen its grip. Mom, Kayla whispered, eyes emotional. Thank you for never giving up on her, or on me. I held her hand tightly. A mother's love doesn't fade, I said. It waits, it fights, it survives. She rested her head against mine. Our family was no longer broken, only bruised. And bruises heal. Sometimes late at night, fear still knocks on my door. Trauma doesn't vanish quietly. But love is louder. Every morning Megan wakes up safe. Every smile she wears freely. Every time she calls me Grandma with joy instead of fear, those are our victories. We earn them, together. Evil hides behind ordinary faces. Pain lives in quiet rooms. But courage grows in the hearts that refuse to let darkness win. I am Lauren Patterson, a grandmother, a mother, a survivor of fear. And I learned something powerful. Protecting a child isn't just about guarding their body. It's about saving their hope, their voice, their future. Megan's voice was nearly taken from her, but she found it again, with love, with truth, with us. Our story does not end with terror. It ends with freedom, healing, and a promise. She is not his. She never was. She is ours, safe, always,